Welcome back for another book review. Today we're talking about this one. So this is Communing with the Ancestors, Your Spirit Guides, Bloodline Allies, and the Cycle of Reincarnation by Raven Grimassi? I don't know how to say that last name. This book. So the premise of this is what the title suggests, kinda. So this is really more about the theories of death and what happens in the afterlife from all over the place. And goes into some very unique ones and really goes into a lot of different theories for what happens. And then there's a few rituals at the end. I am giving this a generous 3 because I do acknowledge I'm not a big fan of this author anyways. So I kind of didn't know that till I was like writing my notes. Then I was like, oh yeah. I don't jive with him much. But also I don't know that everyone's gonna hate this book like I do, so I'm graciously granting it a 3. But when we do the review in a couple weeks of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the 3s, it's in the bad. Because like it's just that's the thing. It's just like it's not quite a 2, but in the 3s. Like, okay, totally unrelated. Completely. But Arlo, who is a mostly Nintendo gaming channel, talks about his rating system and how he has 7 Arlos, because if you rate it out of 10 and you get something of 5, it's a halfway point, but everyone's like, oh my god, it sucks. And he went with 7, and I'm like, that is mine. I have 7 because I split 3 into 3. Anyways, it's fine, whatever. Talking about the book. So why I really don't like this book is that, first of all, communing with the ancestors would indicate that you're communing with the ancestors. You don't really have that. It's talking about theories of death. That's what it should have been called. It should have been, my titles are really not that fancy. So like, I literally would have just called it like Witchcraft Theories of Death, Witchcraft Theories of Reincarnation, Witchcraft Theories of the Afterlife. That would have been a more appropriate title, even a subtitle. Because it really doesn't talk about communing with your ancestors very much. It's again more of the theories of communing with like just death in general, really. What happens when you die. And the theories don't always make sense, to be perfectly honest. But like also, I have my own opinions, and like I still, every once in a while, you know, my atheist upbringing kind of kicks in and is like, it's all a guess. Nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. We will not know until you die. Until that point, we're all guessing. Every time. We really don't know. We can guesstimate, we can think, but we don't know. So like, some of these I'm like, okay, but whatever. The thing is that really irked me about this book, and like, it teetered it into a 2, to be honest, because it bothers me so much. So this book, this little line right here, bloodline, yeah, that's the ancestors, that's it. To the point that he had one quote actually that I wrote down, because it was just that bad of a quote that it was like, how did you think this was okay? Page 4, your existence today in the material world, because each of your direct ancestors lived long enough to procreate. The seeds scattered by the ancestors have become you. You are the sprout and the future seed bearer of your lineage. You may choose not to procreate, or you may not be able to do so. This is not the end, your role in passing on the seed lineage, because your soul can return to the bloodline again in a future timeline. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is, what? What? That I don't love. I am team a little bit on the Buddha side, where like, if you listen to the Dalai Lama, one of his things is that it's like, we're the human family, guys. And I'm kind of team that. Like, personally, I think that this whole like, just sticking with your own and nationality things, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm all like, honestly, if we had a universal language, our needs are the same. Like, there's very little differences across the globe. When you get down to the individual people, we're all kind of the same. If you walk up to us and stab us, we're all gonna bleed. Like, just as a whole, I'm not a big fan of like, you have to stick to your own it's giving World War II. Like, I can't. And I know that's a me thing, but this thing of like, you gotta stick with your bloodline, and if you don't choose to procreate, which is the weirdest way to say you're having kids, but whatever. I guess the reason he picked that is because adoption doesn't count, and fostering and chosen family doesn't count, and he means that because later in the book, I didn't write it down, but later in the book, he talks about how even if you are disowned by your family because you're gay, because of your gender, whatever, you get disowned by your family, you're still supposed to forgive them and be the bigger person to continue the bloodline. Make it make sense. Versus your chosen family, in that exact scenario, your family disowned you because you're trans. And so you find your chosen family, people who actually do not share that itty bitty teeny tiny little bit of shared DNA, and they come to you and are like, oh my God, your bio family sucks ass. Come with us. We're gonna do a fabulous Thanksgiving or a fabulous like solstice dinner, and we're gonna do gift exchange, and it's gonna be beautiful. That apparently means less and doesn't count as ancestry. And I'm like, I'm gonna be really honest, I think chosen family counts more. Because I thought about it with this book. I have a lot of adoptions in our family. And when I think of our family tree, I go with the adoptions. I don't look at the bio people. I don't care why they didn't keep that child at all. None of my business. But I feel like when you sign over those rights, you signed over that person, which sounds horrible, but like you signed it over and somebody else took them in. They actively made that decision to take this person and make them part of the family tree. Legally, they are now part of this family tree. And like adoptions have happened for like literally ever. Like I'm pretty sure way back early humanity, hunter-gatherers, adoption happened. Like there was inevitably a lot of deaths, so it was just a thing. You got adopted into somebody else's family clan thing. Like, why does it need to be a bloodline? And I know I am personally very much more affected by this because, again, my odds of having bio kids are very, very, very slim. And with the current future, even slimmer. So, like, the real possibility is that we're going to be adopting. And, like, you know, I'm gonna count those as my children, even if I did not birth them and we do not share DNA. Because again, it's a teeny little person. Because like, you know, I have people that in our family tree that have given away kids into adoption. And I don't really consider them part of the tree. Like they're doing their own thing. They got their own tree now. And vice versa. Our tree starts at adoption. And I count that. So anyways, needless to say, this book really rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't love it. I really, really, really need y'all to find me some books for pagan adoption. I don't know that they exist. I don't know that I'm gonna write it until I need it, you know, when I've gone through it, so leave it in the comments. So if you are really into your biological family lines, probably the book for you. If you hear noises, the family's getting off work right now. So I'm gonna try and wrap this up quick. But basically, it's for people who want to dive into your bloodline specific background. If that's your thing, you might like this book. If you need some theories on death, maybe this book. I don't really recommend it though. I think there's better books. I am gonna be that author. My book's better. But it depends on what you're needing out of your death journey. Because mine is more like the actually handling of death, not theorizing on death. There are other books for that. But yeah, no. This is just, it's not a very good book. So anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts, and especially if you have any adoption, pagan, Wiccan, our community, adoption books. Because I cannot find any resources. If you know a blog, a channel, some videos, just something, there's really not a lot. I found one YouTube video of this girl, I think she was in like Texas, trying to adopt. And she's like, I'm gonna talk about it, and then never did. And it's like, damn. So I would love to hear pagan stories of adoption and how to handle adoption as pagans, as witches, because it's gonna be weird if you don't know the time of birth for your adopted kid. Like, and how do you raise them as a pagan when there's so much emphasis on your fucking bio line? Like, I need this, I need this. I will probably add to it when I'm there, but I would like it for myself in the now and getting prepared in the next few years. So anyways, let me know in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, blessed be.